Hey guys, so for the educational video for the start of this week, we're going to be talking about beltless lifts. So, as you'll see, at the moment I'm having some time off from competition focus. I will still be doing strength training, but due to some old injuries and a bursa that has flared up quite badly in my shoulder, I am not going to be doing a competition most likely this year at all. Now, this did affect me mentally a bit as I was progressing quite nicely. Now, this did give me some time to sit back and think due to some other situations that are happening in my life at the moment about how important the competition was to compete and move on to that next stage. And I always have next year to compete, move on to the higher levels, the international class levels and the top levels. But what can I do in between that time? And this is where I came back up with the beltless lifts. So a lot of people misuse or misunderstand the use for belts. A lot of people think it's to keep your back from rounding in a deadlift or breaking down a form in squat or to support your lower back in bench when you're setting up. And it can be used as a tool for that. A belt is a tool in the end. It is not meant to correct your lift or correct faults in your lift. The belt itself is to help you brace mainly. So as you know, when you breathe in and you brace through your core, you are flexing the muscles and putting an internal pressure from the breath of air that has gone in against the abdominal wall, while flexing the abdominal wall to create an external pressure. That way there is two dual pressures there, allowing for a brace to be created. Now, if you do this incorrectly or if you do not brace correctly, it can cause lumbar thoracic disc herniation, it can cause hernias in general, and a variety of other things and injuries that can possibly happen from lifting with incorrect bracing or incorrect form. A lot of people then get over-reliant on their belt and think they require it for every single lift and every little step up. A beltless deadlift or a beltless squat or a beltless in general for any movement will assist in teaching you how to brace correctly. Even if you have to start so much lower than what your max is, a beltless lift over time will help improve your base point for where you want to aim to be. So let's say point A for your beltless is 140 kilo deadlift, but your max is 300. This has obviously taught you that you are over-reliant on your belt. What you then want to do with that is slowly increase this beltless deadlift. Even if it is each session while you're focused on a comp, you go 140, work up to your 140. Even if you do 2 reps next time or 3, or you move it up by 2.5 kilos, you do that small jump and you increase that brace and increase that strength for your core. You're wanting to do this because as time goes on, if you miss set up for a belt and you do not brace correctly against it, you have a higher chance of injury, or you already have a higher chance that your form may be breaking down as you are getting closer to your 1RM or whatever you are aiming for. So the reason why we do this is to create that pressure internally and externally using the abdominal wall and the air that is breathed in to be as efficient as possible without a belt. That way, when a belt is introduced, it is just a tool to assist in that brace, making it even tighter and assisting even possibly in longer rep sets. Now, what are some ways that we can increase this without overloading on our lifts every time? So if you are wanting to do a rep set without a belt, you will want to start off somewhat light. It may feel too light for you, but you want to get used to being able to brace in between each rep and not having that external force that the belt creates up against the abdominal area there. You want to be able to get used to that core tightening, to having that breath in there and setting up every single time like you would for a deadlift in general anyway, whether you're wearing a belt or not. As this progresses over time, you will be able to increase this and you will feel more comfortable when you get into your belt as well. This may also tell you if your belt is too tight or too loose, as if you've become over-reliant on it, you may have found that you need it either tighter or looser to fit the needs of your comfortable setup. But yeah, so if you would like to see, I have some videos up of me doing beltless deadlifts. My goal by the end of this, getting ready for looking at a possible next prep, I possibly want to be around 365 beltless deadlift. And that is something that everyone can aim to set a goal for their beltless lifts and move towards that over time. Anyway, I will see you next time.